for anybody in the audience who's got a birthday today. Happy birthday to you.
And welcome in to the task force. Oh, we have a cavalcade of champions tonight. It is my birthday, but what are you without your friends? And look at the starting intro here. We've got the legendary Cal Squatch, Paxton Rieger, my nephew, the O-Wiz, Lawton King Lutz, and my father. The doc is here. So, listen, I can't thank you guys enough. I got to start with my dad. You had me. You hate doing this video chicanery. By the way, are you enjoying the Beatles, Dad? I know you love the Beatles, right? Are you going to say anything, Harold?
Yeah. Not as much as some other people.
So you had me, Dad, and you've had to put up with me for much of my life. What are your comments to the people out there?
Well,
this is your turn.
When are you going to
grow up? It's your turn to speak. I guess I should have gone to my dad first. Dad, I love you. Ken, let's go to you. You've known me for a long time now. You're one of the greatest people I've ever known. You sent me a beautiful tweet for my birthday earlier. You know my dad's got to put up with me. What is it like for you to have to put up with me?
You're a good guy, and ever since we first met over at the studio, you've been really good. And I'll tell you what, you're like a brother to me there. And your dad, I always wanted to go to a Michigan football game with you and your dad, and maybe down the road I can get that opportunity. But happy birthday to you, and many, many more. You're a good man, and you're the salt of the earth.
It's very kind of you to say, Dad, have you gathered your thoughts? Do you have anything to say to the masses right now? Harold, anything. Just say words.
Nothing.
Just throw the words out.
He's got nothing to say.
I can't understand you. You're not coming through clear.
Yeah, well, that's not my fault. All right, we'll pass on the Doc Squatch for a minute. Oren, I know you got to go to bed soon. Oren, my nephew, the great Oren, said Scott Kroenke, but it's Oren. He's wearing his Cubs jersey. Oren, you said this is the first time you've ever been live on a show before, right?
He can't hear you either, I don't think.
Why can't the O-Wiz hear me? What's going on? Oren, say, can you hear me, Oren? I guess he can. All right, we'll go back to Oren. Dave, you're always with me. You love it. Do you have, by the way, Dave's come up with questions to grill birthday combatants. We have trivia. By the way, guess what? I think we lost the doc.
Gone.
We got Stats is here, so we got Stats. Stats is here. Thank you. All right, so Oren, can you hear us yet?
I can't hear Leach.
No,
why can't they hear me?
Nobody can. I can hear you fine.
I hear you good.
I can hear you good.
So how can they not?
Yeah, I can hear all you guys. I just can't hear Dan.
Well, I've never had 6 people in here before.
All right, well, listen.
Oren, can you hear us, Oren?
I got to run. I got dinner on my smoker. But love you, Dan. Happy birthday. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for having me on here. Guys, all the best to you. Hope all your families are staying safe and well. And make sure you bust Dan's balls as much as possible for the rest of the show.
Obviously, hey, we love you. We love you, Stats.
Still can't hear you, Dan.
See you, Stats.
How can they not hear me?
Later. Dan, love you, brother. Happy birthday. Lawrence says happy birthday. All the best. Hit me up later. All right, guys. Be well.
All right, so yeah, we love you. Everyone can hear me except for Stats, right? I don't understand what's going on here. Everyone else can hear me. Or can you hear me now? He's just sitting there.
I don't think.
Right.
I don't think Or can hear you either.
Well, listen, that's their connection. It's not my fault. All right, we love the O-Wiz. Let's give the O-Wiz his own screenshot right there. There you go. He can't hear me, but all right, and we of course have my longtime broadcast partner, Lawton Lutz. Lawton, we've got a gift, a special gift. I have to open up on the air in a minute.
Oh,
But
yes.
I've known you for a long time.
What's up, dude?
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday.
Hey there, Scott, can you hear me?
How are you doing that?
I can't hear you. It's really not working.
Well, you're the only one that can't hear us. At
I
least
can't even
we
hear it. I
tried.
can just see you going walk, 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 walk.
Dave, it's got to be on their end. But Lawton, longtime broadcast partner. What am I, Charlie Brown? How do you feel about the Squatches birthday show?
You're asking me, the man that can hear you. Okay, yes. Oh, I'm loving it, man. I love the camaraderie, and then of course I think you really how long we've known each other. I don't know if you know this, but it's 12 years now, which is a long enough time to know you.
Yes. Let me see. Can my sister hear me?
I'm in the show now.
Can Emily hear
Can
you?
you actually hear me,
Let
Emily?
me in. You finally let me in.
Can you actually hear me, Emily?
I can hear you now, but I couldn't before.
Right, because you were in the waiting room. Why can't Scott? So you guys get on Emily's
Oh.
camera.
Well, don't leave us in the waiting room. There.
All right. Oren, can
hear you.
now they can hear me, right?
Yeah, well, I can.
Ken, that Emily Santa, Ken Cal, the legendary Ken Cal.
Hi, Emily. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
All right,
Everything's
I know
good.
Oren.
Celebrating the old man's birthday here.
Hey, Ken, did you know that it's the 30th anniversary of my bar mitzvah today? That's how I don't have to say how old I am.
Wait, your bar mitzvah was on your birthday?
Yeah, it was literally on my birthday. Some people have it like a day before, 5 days before. Emily was there. It was a very emotional day. Bay Point, music theme, blue tuxedo. It's pretty great.
You didn't play any golf though, did you?
No, I think that my dad had an outing that weekend, but I wasn't allowed to play because I was too young.
I see.
Where
So,
did Dad go?
Dad disappeared because he wouldn't talk. He was very scared. But Dave, I know, has prepared a bunch of questions for our esteemed guest, Kenny Callan. Obviously, my sister, and we have lots of other people that are going to come in throughout the show. Dave, what do you got? Because I know my sister and Oren, they've got to go in a minute because it's bedtime. How did the bet? And Oren, Ken, if you didn't know this, Oren's a huge Javi Baez fan, and I'm going to try to get Javi Baez on the show. So he's wearing his full Cubs uniform, full Cubs. Dave, do you have anything for the Owens?
Oh man, so we got to give something a little bit easier for the O-Wiz, right? Let's see. What could we give him that would be good for him? All right, Oren. So in 1974, on May 19th, 1974, there was a puzzle that was invented by a inventor named Erno Rubik. What do you think that he invented May 19th, 1974?
Scott, let him do
What do you-
it.
Think about the
Throw out
guy's
a guess,
last.
Owens.
Think his last name was Erno Rubik.
The Rubik's
Correct,
Cube.
correct,
Dave, what
correct.
does he win? What does
Correct.
the Owens win?
Whatever gift you pulled out from your prize closet.
All right, Oren, guess what you win? You win one of the,
What is
This
it?
is one of the last glow sticks from the Ken. You'll like this. This was what they gave out the last weekend at Joe Louis Arena. The last few games.
I know it looked
It's
familiar.
a battery, but this is one of the last like thunder sticks they ever handed out at Joe Louis Arena. Are you? Would you rather have a hobby bias? You're welcome. All right, Emily, before we let you go, would you like to make fun of me and give any embarrassing stories of your brother as a kid?
Gosh. I don't know. There's too many.
Throw something out there.
Emily,
Or
now, Emily, was he always like this
Put me on
growing
the
up?
spot.
Was he always this
No,
bubbly
that is
growing
not
up?
a good story.
Emily, Ken was asking you if I was always this bubbly and crazy growing up.
Crazy, yes. Did you say bubbly? Very energetic. Oh, here, okay. I have one good, not a really good story, but how we would always fight for the remote Saturday mornings, right?
Yep.
Cartoons.
Saturday mornings.
And you
Ken, what we would
hide
do.
it from me, so I couldn't. You would hide it places, so I couldn't find it in the morning.
Yeah, what we would do
That sounds like Dan.
is I would wake up as early as possible, like 5:30, 5:15, go watch Kid Wizard, and then I'd have the remote. She'd try to steal it from me, and she'd yell to my mom and dad, "Hey, Daddy has the remote." And we'd watch Gummy Bears together. Gummy Bears,
Yeah.
Snorks. What else do we have? Smurfs, Snorks,
Probably
Gummy
Smurfs.
Bears.
Gummy
Yeah, it
bears
was
for
sick.
sure. Oh,
I
and then
love
how
it.
about we would take a shoebox and take it off the landing and like have a string and like do things up and down like toys and stuff, right?
Yep, that's right. What we would do is I would take a shoebox and I'd tie kite string to it, and we had like a 20-foot landing. So I'd like feed it down to my sister. We put parachute guys in it. And we also, Emily had a fridge. She had this like fake metal fridge. So I would take it and put it in my closet, and we'd sneak real fruit up at like 5 in the morning. We'd sneak like cucumbers and tomatoes, and it was like ridiculous. I don't even know what
Super
else.
random. Why did we steal fruit and vegetables?
All right, well, Oren, I know you got to go to bed. I love you always. Thanks for being part of the birthday celebration, and we'll try to get Javi Baez in soon.
Bye. Happy birthday.
Thanks,
See you,
love you,
Wiz.
Emily.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, we will. Bye, Emily. Good job. All right, now we got the boys back. The boys are back in town. See, I know that everyone can hear me. I had this all set up. By the way, so Lawton has been very kind. Ken, I don't know if you were aware, there's a 50-50 raffle. You can buy your tickets if you want. You're a host, a guest of the show, so you probably get yours free. But we're doing a 50-50 raffle to support the task force. And Lawton is taking care of everything. There's all the info if people want to get involved. $5 per ticket. Half goes to the winner. Half goes to the cost of the task force software. I don't make any money on this show. I'm not doing it for money right now. Maybe down the road we'll get sponsors. But I like doing this. Lawton's been a part. Dave's been a part. Ken's been a part. And I want to keep doing these shows. But the software costs a little money. So we're doing a little raffle in honor of the birthday. There's all the info if you want to send Venmo or PayPal or Cash App. $5 a ticket. Lawton, you got to randomize what you're going to use later to draw the winners, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we'll at the end of the show, we'll go ahead and draw the winner. And I think it's great. I think it's a great idea for us to continuously do this 50-50 raffle because not only, we have some expenses with it, right? Obviously. But we also like to crown a winner every show. So I feel like it's just a win-win.
It is. Let's welcome in legendary Associated Press writer Noah Trister to the task force. Noah, what is going on? Ken, you know Noah. He's covered the wings in the past.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Thank you very much. Noah, that's Ron. If you haven't met him, you obviously know Dave Rieger, the better Rieger. Noah is like my game buddy, whether it's LCA for the Pistons, the Wings, whether it's a Lions game. Whenever I see Noah, my day is brightened. Noah, it's great to see you.
You too, Dan. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Dave, do we have any questions or any trivia for Noah? What do we got for Noah loves trivia.
Oh,
Noah,
God.
what was that trivia question that you loved? Oh, the one that the 4 guys that hit Ken, I don't know if you know the answer to this, and Lawton. 4 guys in the history of baseball have hit home runs as a teenager and as a 40-plus-year-old. And when I posted that question, Noah, the trivia master himself, really appreciated it.
That's a tough question.
Ken, this isn't the question.
Yeah, I don't remember what the answer was.
All right, Ken, I'll give you a hint. I want you to ruminate on this while Dave asks Noah his question. Ken, the answer of this question has 3 players with the same theme. 3 of the 4 have the same theme. So that could be they all played for the same team. That could be their first name starts with an A, but it's the same team. So there's your hint. So think about that for a second, Kenny. All right, Dave, what do we have for Noah?
All right, Noah. So this is going to take us back to May 19th, 1992. At that time, U.S. Vice President Dan Quayle criticized what CBS sitcom?
Murphy Brown.
Oh, wow! I couldn't even finish the question. And he got it.
And-
Very good.
And Noah wins one of my copies of the Green Bay Packers 100 Seasons Media Guide. It's on its way. All right, Ken, any ideas? Any ideas of what it could be? Think about it again. 4
Nice
players.
job, Noah.
Great job, Noah. 4 players have hit a home run in their teenage years as well as their 40s. And by the way, while we're doing that, Mike's in the chat, says happy birthday to his birthday twin. David Seachow, big fan here. Appreciate that. The D-line. Happy birthday, Wiz. Jonathan Knight, this is great. Dave says hi to you, Ken. Let's go Red Wings. Jonathan Knight said no invite. I see it as, John, I can't invite everybody. You'll come on soon. Porchos are in. Jeff Nevis says happy birthday, Dave, your best friend. Sean Coughlin. Tom Phillips, who bought some raffle tickets. And many, many more. Danny Kaczynski's involved. So we appreciate everyone having dropping in on the birthday show. Ken, any thoughts?
What, thoughts about the trivia question or what?
Yep, just give me. I just want you to get one name right.
Yeah, I was just reading something about a guy that played for the Tigers, and he started off really young and he finished old. I want to say like Ty Cobb or something like that.
Ty Cobb is absolutely correct. So the hint is 3 guys played for the same team. It's obviously the Tigers. One of them is impossible. One of them is definitely gettable. And then the other guy played for another team, another couple of teams, and is widely considered one of the great players in modern history. The one that no one's, you know what, I'll throw it out to the people out there. If anyone can get it, they will get, let's see what I got here in the prize bag. Dave, you pull any prizes out?
I have to go and see what's in my
I've got
basement.
A Screwball peanut butter whiskey t-shirt. Screwball. This is Ken's favorite brand of whiskey. So if anyone knows the answer to that, throw it out there, and we'll see if Ken can get it. But Ken, I wanted to throw this to you because you know how much you mean to me on many levels. But I wanted to ask you how you're dealing with no hockey and what you're hearing about hockey possibly starting up again.
Well, it's been tough, obviously, because, I really enjoy the game and I love calling hockey games. But, I'm hearing what everybody else is hearing, and that the league's still on a pause and they want to somehow try to figure out a way where they can either continue the season and finish it up and have the playoffs and crown a Stanley Cup champion. I think a lot of it has to do with what the NHL is going to see with Major League Baseball and what they do. Because I think right now, Major League Baseball they're planning on starting a season, from what I hear, in July. And I think the other leagues will probably take note of what they're doing and how they do things. And I think the big thing, it all comes down to player safety, though, and testing. And if they can find a way where they can test quicker and find a way where they can live sort of in a bubble and get some games in, I think that they could finish a hockey season. But again, there's a lot of unknowns out there. We don't know right now exactly what the testing procedures are going to be. If the NHL can pick neutral sites to house maybe 6 to 8 teams per site, that's an idea that's been thrown about. So we just have to wait and see. But I'm hoping that for the fans' sake, that the players can start playing, even though there won't be any fans in the stands. At least hockey fans can watch hockey on television. Of course, we all know Stanley Cup playoffs are it's the best hockey of the year, and that's what's coming up for the NHL.
Yep. Well, I know that we all miss you and hearing the people's announcer, the voice of the Red Wings. And I miss working with you. I know you don't miss working with Jeff Rieger or Dave Rieger's brother Jeff as much as me, but it's close. Like you miss us both. I want to get to Lawton in a second about the last dance.
Real quick
Go
for
ahead,
Ken. Real quick for Ken. Since here's a trivia question for you, Ken, that you probably can answer. Dan was born in 1977. Who won the Stanley Cup in 1977?
Ooh, I don't even know before he says anything, can I guess? Because I don't know for sure.
No looking it up, Ken.
No. I already know I know the answer.
Okay, don't say it yet. Don't say it.
Okay, all right.
My guess is the Montreal Canadiens.
That is the correct answer. 1977 Stanley Cup champion, Montreal Canadiens.
Was that during their run of like 5 of 6 years or something?
Yeah, that was they had a really good team, and that was the year I think 77, 78. Well, you're talking 76, 77, but you're right. It was like
Right.
4 or 5 years in a row that they won the Stanley Cup. They were an awesome team, and I remember in 78 the Red Wings actually qualified for the playoffs. Paul Woods actually played for the Red Wings back then, and they really gave Montreal a run for their money. And I think that was the toughest opponent that Montreal faced that year. You know, when it was all said and done, according to the Canadian players. So, yeah,
Yep.
good way to go. That was a nice answer right there. You got it right.
Well, it was really the Cal Squatch's question. All right, we're going to get to Lawton. We got a lot of things to get to Lawton with, including I've waited to open this for like 5 days. He's got a present that said Dave Ringer's got a piece of it. There's a lot of things to get to with this. Plus, we got a lot of things to discuss. Last Dance and many others. But I want to get to Noah in a second here. Few things on the chat. First off, Charlie Havlin is signed in. He says, Dave Ringer, go Broncos, way to go, puke. But Charlie is a longtime 97.1 listener. We become, kind of brothers in arms over the last several years. Today, on my birthday, is his 15 years sober. Same day as my birthday. So congrats to Charlie. I mean, 9 years seems like a lot. How about 15? So big love to Charlie Evan. Buffy Redco is enjoying the show. We appreciate that. If people are just joining, we do have a 50-50 raffle going. There's the information. It's just $5 a ticket. Get whatever you want. Lawton, we got PayPal, right, Lawton?
Yes, sir.
Venmo, Cash App, and email lawton@hotmail.com your name and your entries, and we're going to randomly draw a winner at the end of the show. Half the win goes to the winner, half goes to the cost of the software for the task force. We figured it'd be a great thing for a birthday show because I'm not making money on this show. It's not about making money, but I want to keep doing it. The software is expensive, unfortunately. And guess who else, before we get to Noah, is joining us? The great Tony Paul he's in the mix.
What's
Tony
up,
Paul?
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you very much. Kenny, of course you know him. Noah, do you know the legendary Tony Paul?
I do now. It's nice to meet you, sir.
Likewise.
And of course, Tony, you know the better Rieger, the great Dave Rieger.
Yes. How did
Of
you
course,
guys?
of course.
How have you guys all got haircuts? This is weird.
I can't
No, I got no hair.
I got a haircut.
I don't have a haircut. Yeah, it's just hidden, it's hidden well.
All right. Yeah, mine.
Right,
I
Noah,
need one.
Tony, we'll get to you in a second here. We got questions. Dave's got some questions. But no, I wanted to ask you, you've been a long time, well-respected AP writer. Is there a certain event that whenever you think about it, when you covered it, meant the most to you?
Probably the Olympics 2004.
Yeah, what was that like covering those?
First one I did. Pretty incredible experience. First one I'd ever done, and really the first time I'd even been to Europe, I think, in something like 15 years. It was in Athens that year, and which is obviously the birthplace of the modern Olympics. And there were lots of concerns going into that Olympics just on whether the venues were going to be ready and whether it was going to be kind of a logistical nightmare, and it really wasn't at all. They did a pretty good job running it, and I was just, I think I would have been 25 years old at the time. So, being sort of thrust into that was still a career highlight for me.
I love it. And Tony, was the biggest moment of your career covering the Jeff Rieger being named to the Wojo and Rieger show?
Great article, by the way, Tony.
Great article.
Nice. Very nice, Tony. Very nice.
It is, and I told Jeff this, and Jeff's like, "Why are you writing about me? This doesn't matter," And I tell everyone that I write a media story about, and sadly, I've written too many negative media stories about people being laid off and whatnot. But there is a tremendous audience for media, especially radio and TV stories. And I told Jeff today he was one of the most well-read stories of the day, and he didn't believe me, but it's true. And just as all of them have been, when Bogey left the station, that story was well read. It's crazy the thirst there is for media information, and I think it speaks honestly to there are a lot of people out there that would love our jobs. I think that's what that means. I think honestly that there's just there's people are intrigued by being involved in this business, but that's the biggest story I wrote today. How about that?
Well, yeah, today, 24 hours. He gets us 24 hours. I want to say this, though, and Tony, we talked about this last night, and you had some very kind words for me about a show I did with Darren McCarty. Kenny knew about the Darren McCarty show, gave me some good background on the D-Squatch. But I just want to tell you, I'm very grateful to have you in my life. We've created this great connection. We have our poker games. You're a hell of a guy, and I'm very lucky to call you a friend, Tony. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. One of these days, Noah's going to win one. Maybe.
I know. Noah's very sneaky. He sneaks in there. He runs the Princeton backdoor offense. He's very people are very scared of him.
Maybe Noah did win. I was speaking of Dave Rieger. Dave Rieger might win one.
Yes, if Dave Rieger could learn how to race, then Dave Rieger would win every single tournament.
Dave Rieger he checked quads. He checked with quads.
Checked the full house.
The stone cold nuts. Dave, I think your average raise per tournament is 0.3. 0.3
okay.
per tournament.
All right. It's okay. I think it irritates people even more when I just match their bet and then they end up losing. I think Tony had a discussion with my brother, Jeff, that Jeff told me about, where he described me as someone who kind of just hides in the weeds and just pops up every now and then and just takes your heart.
Yeah, no, he really ripped your soul out, because if Dave's calling, you're probably beat. So
and Leach knows that very well from the one-on-one we had at the last one-on-one tournament. So
yes, oh yeah, Tony. I think we all know this. Kenny, we did a heads up one-on-one tournament, 16 teams, Brad, 16 guys. Dave, Tony, if I'm not mistaken, I talked to Sonny Vaccaro in Vegas. Dave was a 5,000 to 1 shot.
I made it
way worse than George Mason.
I made it.
He won 2 matches. He beat me, and he went to the Final Four.
Obviously, your prognostication was way off on that one.
Yeah, he beat my brother in the first round, and then he beat Leach in a mega upset in the second round, and
it was a very emotional beat.
But it's all about taking the trophy, Dave. It's all about taking the trophy.
That is true. That is true. But in my defense, it was going late. I had to be up early to go to work the next day. So
yeah, that's not much of a defense.
Sorry, that's all I got.
We got Dave. We'll get a question for Tony in a second here. But Lon, you've been a long time friend of mine, one of my best friends. Lon and me used to call semi-pro football on, what was it? Was it home TV?
It was Cam TV. It was an affiliate of government access. So this was like super small peanuts. But gosh, man, great memories of that. And actually, when you called on me earlier to talk about how long I've known you, it's been 12 years. That was really our first start, was doing those games. And it's one of my favorite memories. And I'll give everybody the Cliff Notes version of the story. But so we needed a play-by-play or a color commentator. And we all know Dan can talk. So I said, man, this would be great if you could possibly help me with this, because I'm producing the show. I have to run audio, and I got to call the game, and I got to do the scheduling for the cast. This is crazy. So of course Danny was like, yeah, I'm just trying to do whatever I can right now to kind of get back in the game. So the first half, and Danny, you're gonna remember this, I did play-by-play, and Danny did color, and it just said the vibe wasn't good. We had an interview at halftime, and we had some downtime. We had some commercials or whatever. Danny looks at me and says, listen, I'm just going to be honest with you, man. Just full disclosure, I can do play-by-play better than you. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So let's flip for the second half. And I mean, for anybody that's done play-by-play, I mean, it's not like an easy thing, right? So we switched, and it was perfect. It was magic. It was much better as a color commentator. Danny can keep it going. And my favorite call from those games, because I still wasn't used to you and your energy yet, was they had a running back named Brandon Dunn, and he ran in it was like a 20-yard touchdown. And Danny's like, Brandon, get it done, runs for the touchdown. And it was just funny at the time, because we're on this like small station, and it was just great. So that's my favorite early memory of you, was us doing those small time games together. But boy, we had a lot of good times.
Tony, are you ordering a pizza? Because if you are, I like some. I think Tony might be ordering a pizza. Kenny, here's answer number 2. Jeff Nemeth, who's a friend of Dave and ours, he's also an idiot. No, we love Jeff. Hey, Ron, the question was, Tony probably knows the answer to this. Don't give it out yet, Tony. Were you ordering a pizza?
No, that was a source from a story I worked on earlier today, calling the bitch about. calling to bitch about an article that another media outlet wrote about the same topic. So I'll leave it at that.
All right. So the question earlier was 4 players have hit a home run in their teens and in their 40s.
Yeah.
Kenny said Ty Cobb correct. Nima said A-Rod correct. There are 2 left, and they're both Tigers. Noah, no cheating. Any ideas?
Is this from me or Noah? You already told me the
I
answer.
already tried to answer it like 2 months.
I want to see if
I don't
Ken.
remember what
By
it
the way,
was.
we do have Sean Belizean waiting, so I've got to get rid of somebody at some point.
You can get rid of me whenever you want. I won't take offense.
No, it's not. I don't want to get rid of anybody. I got to rotate people in. Kenny, any other answers?
Yeah, I got one. You say 3 of them were Tigers, right? At one point?
Yes. 3 of them were Tigers.
The guy I'm thinking about, I don't know if he did it as a. I know he did it as a old, in his 40s. I don't want to say old man, but what about Legrand Orange, Rusty Staub?
Right, I think you looked it up. There's no way you got that on your own.
No, he
got the 2 toughest
played
ones.
into his 40s. I know that, but I figured he was a home run hitter. He had to play.
right.
He came in early. He had to hit one.
You get that? You get the Smokey the Bear birthday ball. I can't. For that, you're getting my Smokey the Bear.
I don't know.
birthday ball.
I don't know who the other guy is. I can't. I'm just. I know
Well,
he was an older player. That's about why I guessed it. I mean,
Mike Hunt got it on the chat. A guy's name is Mike Hunt. So stupid. The last one is Gary Sheffield. Gary
I would have
Sheffield.
never guessed that.
All right.
See, I'm really
Before-
surprised that Al Kaline didn't do that.
I know, and some people said Barry Bonds, they said McGuire. Those guys did not hit home runs in their teens. They might have hit them when they were older, but not in their teens.
Well, Kaline had to have though. So Kaline must have not hit any in his 40s. He must have been retired at age 40 or something.
Yeah, I think he retired at 38, did he?
I don't remember, but Miguel Cabrera is going to join that list someday. But
all right, I want to get to. All right, so Tony, we've got a tournament tonight.
yes,
And a Squatch birthday tournament. It's going to be great. Can't wait. Noah, you're involved. Ken, when can we get you on the felt?
What's that? When can you
When
get
can
me?
we get you this?
On a card tournament?
Yeah, come on. I want to get you in there.
Nah, I'm a dice player. I don't play cards.
even better.
okay.
Even better. Come
All
on.
Okay.
All right. Well, listen, I love Sean's coming in here. Kenny, do you want to stick around? I know you said you could stay long tonight.
No, my bedtime is at 9:00, so I got to get
Ooh.
out of here.
All right, Kenny, parting shots from you. What is it like to have Dan Leach in your life? Has it saved your life?
First and foremost, though, Tony, I enjoyed your tweet today. I thought that was a great tweet. I laughed like crazy about Dan wishing him a happy birthday.
That was
I
a
thought
beautiful
was
tweet.
outstanding. And parting shot, I just want to say I love you, brother. You're really a good friend, and I enjoy working with you. And we have so much fun together. And I just wish you all the best. Congratulations on a great birthday again, and a lot more. That's all I can say. And to all the people here, Dave, and Noah, and Juan, hey, I wish you all
Take care, Ken.
Thanks
Take
so much
care.
for seeing you guys.
Kenny, thanks so much for stopping
Good to
by.
see
You're
you,
the
Ken.
best. I'm very lucky to have you in my life. Love you, Kenny.
All right, say hi to Belizean too.
I will. He's replacing you. I mean, it's a legend for a legend. Thank you, Kenny. Speaking of the devil, there he is, Sean.
Oh, please. Hi, guys. How
What's
are you? Happy
going
birthday.
on?
Happy birthday,
Thank
buddy.
you very much. Hey, listen, you know how much you mean to me. Obviously, you know Tony and Noah.
Yeah,
One,
what's
this
up,
is
guys?
the great Sean Belizean. Dave Rieger,
Sean,
the better
good to meet you,
Rieger.
sir.
Sean.
How you doing, bud?
Sean was part of a legendary version of the task force, very highly rated. Dave, do we have anything for Sean? What question do we have for Sean?
Oh, a trivia question for Sean.
right.
Let's see. All right. So this is either going to happen. Let's see. This has to do with Dan's birthday. So let me know, Sean. 1977 was the year Dan was born. Who won the Super Bowl? The 1977 champions of the Super Bowl.
Now, are you talking about during the 77 season or during January of 77?
I would be January of 77.
The 76 season?
So the 76 season.
Was that the Raiders over the Vikings 32-14?
That was the Oakland Raiders. You are correct. Very good.
Yeah.
Very
Wait a
good.
minute. Did he get the score right? Did he get the score right?
That I don't know. I just had that the Raiders were winning.
Dude,
I didn't look
you
up the score.
sick son of a bitch.
What do we, Dave? What do we have for Sean? Are you giving me like your Tiger Woods head cover? Is that
I
what we
can
have
give.
for
I have a 3-pack DVD of Tiger Woods to give to Sean next time I see him. I'll give it to him.
Awesome.
Does that include the episode
Sean-
that was shot at Bennigan's? Or no?
Wow! Come on now, Tony. Come on now.
Before we let King Noah go, Noah, any parting shots from you? Once again, you know how much you mean to me. I can't wait for us to cover a game again sometime. It might not be for a year and a half, but where are you at in life? And hopefully, I've blessed your life a little bit.
Oh, for sure, Dan. I wouldn't be on here if you hadn't. Happy birthday. Appreciate your positive attitude always, and keep up the good work.
Hey, Noah, you and I have been concert buddies. As soon as there's a concert, we're going. As soon as
Are we
there's a
supposed
concert.
to see the Rolling Stones like next week?
Yeah, we were supposed to see the Rolling Stones next week, like Jeff Lynne's EL or Roger Waters in July. There won't be concerts for a year now. It sucks. Noah, I love you. I'll see you on the felt tonight.
All right, Dan. Take care.
Take care, Noah.
All right, great stuff. All right,
Can
before we
just
let
talk
the
about-
Diesel in,
Can we just talk about how Sean Delusion has the nerve to show up on this thing with vertical video? Can we just talk about that for a second?
I should have put it on my computer, Tony. I'm sorry. I have it on my phone. It's shame on me. Absolutely shame on me.
Yeah.
Lord knows I need.
You can't go like that.
I need anything to make me look slimmer. Let's be honest, man. It's like once I hit 45, forget it. So I'm going this way all day.
All right.
I think you look great.
Sorry, I said
And,
anything.
Oh, please.
Sean,
Tony, stop.
you are doing a show with D-Mac. He was on the show on Friday. It was phenomenal.
Mhm.
What is, I mean, he's such a refreshing, honest, inspirational type of guy. What's it been like to work with D-Mac on WJR?
Oh, it's been fun. You know, I mean, back in the day when he was playing and everything, he was one of the best to deal with the media, and that's carried on to this day. You know, the thing about him is just his brutal honesty. I mean, he is just brutal honest. You know, yep, I got some warts, I made some mistakes, I'm learning from my mistakes. So it's been a blast doing the show with him, and you know, it's one of those things that I can't tell you how many guys, and Tony's a perfect example of this. I think sometimes guys get pigeonholed in this business. And you know, oh, Tony's a baseball guy. Tony's so much deeper than just a quote unquote baseball guy. And you know, working with Killer all those years. I mean, he's just a football guy. He's so much deeper than a football guy. And that's the way Mac is. Like using Tony as an example, Mac's a huge baseball fan, just a huge baseball fan, and one of those guys that grew up around here and has a lot of the same memories that we do of the late 70s and into the 80s, and you know, experience in 84 and stuff like that. So. You know, he's one of those guys. It's so overused. It's such a cliche, but legitimately, he is one of us. He really is. He's one of us. And, you know, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure doing shows with him. No doubt about it.
Well, it's an honor to have you on this show. And why don't we bring in an old DFN buddy of yours, the great Matt Daring.
Oh,
Matt Daring, he's joined the Diesel. He's wearing his tribe jacket for me. Deez, what's going on?
You're screaming. Why are you screaming? It's your birthday. It's
super excited.
Oh my God. How are you, Dan? Happy birthday. Good to see these guys. And wow, you got it's a cavalcade. It's nonstop.
A cavalcade of whimsy. I don't want to get anyone out of here. I just want to keep bringing people in.
I saw the cow squatch earlier.
Cal Squatch was involved.
Very
so
exciting.
you're wearing your order will be restored Cleveland Indians garb.
I did this.
You must
for
feel pretty good about that.
I think Sean and Tony will tell you. I don't think I'm supposed to wear this. Right? Isn't it like against the rules?
No.
No, you can wear whatever you want. It's fine.
It's brutal. Absolutely brutal.
These
happy birthday.
We go way
Dan.
back.
How many years is this for you? What are we looking at?
This is the 30th anniversary of my bar mitzvah. We figured it out. 30th anniversary of my bar mitzvah, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Do you know any of your Torah portion?
La Shana Tov. No, I can't remember it even. I've got a tape somewhere, and I tried to find it, and I have no idea where it is. But if I find it, it would be radio gold because I'm a 13-year-old leech squatch, but I still have a deep voice. So I'm like, Barukaton. I don't know. It like goes up and down the whole time. It's pretty great. But
Dave, well, hold on, Dave. How do you do it, man? How do you do it every week, every day?
It's a chore. I'll tell you that much.
Do you get combat pay for dealing with this guy?
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, I have to deal with not only to deal with Dan. I also have to deal with Sean a lot too. So it's like double.
That's not very nice.
That is not nice.
How dare you?
Kidding. I love them both.
Stop. It's all right.
Deez, on a serious note, though, you and I have been very in touch over the last couple of months, and we go way back. You've been supportive of me in my life and career going back to like 1998, and I can't thank you enough for that.
I think we were. I think I met you. It was sort of the heyday of DFN. Sean, where were we in '98? Were we in Farmington Hills or were we in Southfield?
I wasn't there yet. I think that was down in Detroit still. I jumped on in '99. Yeah, 99? I jumped. Wow. I jumped on in '99. We were still down at the garage.
Man,
and it was literally a garage. That's the thing that people don't understand. When you tell people you worked in a garage, Matt, you can attest to this. The old DFN was literally a garage. It was amazing.
Those were the days.
It was
Those
crazy.
Were the days. Dave, you got a question?
It's great. Dan's killing it. By the way, I love the show. The Lauren Jabara show is really good. I love the new. Dave, he wouldn't let you talk, man. Dan was smitten that night. Woo,
yes.
My mom fell in love with her. She fell in love.
I have like a specific part. I have a specific part to these shows. I'm like a contributor. I kind of come in and then I just kind of just sit here and just look stupid for for an hour.
No, he does a great job. Do we have a question for Diesel?
Of course, for Diesel, since I know he's a big Piston guy. And by the way, Matt, Dan, 43 years old today. If you did the quick math there, give me a famous Piston who wore number 43.
I saw the doc. I saw that. Say it again.
Give me a Piston who wore 43. I found one that I recognized.
Did Grant Long never played for the Pistons? Did he?
You got it, Grant Long.
Grant Long.
Okay. I knew Diesel would know.
He wore 43.
He's like the only one that I knew on the list.
Do you remember Jim Peterson, who played for the Rockets? He wore 43.
That name vaguely sounds familiar. Deez, what were you going to say about what you saw the doc?
Yeah, Doherty.
Doherty.
Brad Doherty wore 43. No,
Diesel, you saw the doc earlier?
The intro to the show. I did. I saw the doc at the start of the show. He was a man of few words. The man delivered my daughter. Could he not
deliver the daughter?
I wish he would have said less that day than he was saying on the show tonight.
He couldn't hear Dan.
Well,
I think was the reason why.
Famously, when he delivered Stoney's twins, he made Stoney wait for a minute because he had to watch the end of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So he made Stoney wait. He's like, "Give me a minute. I got to watch Regis." And then he came in and delivered the kids.
Oh my god!
So ridiculous. TP.
Too good.
Before I let you go, I wanted to ask you this: where are you at with sports right now, coming back? And for you, what was the most important event you ever covered?
Yeah, I think his mic's muted. Tony's mic is muted.
Oh, sorry, I'm still figuring this out.
We're good.
I haven't covered as many big ones as a lot of people, but a couple World Series. 2012 was a blast in San Francisco, of course, but covered the Ryder Cup in 2004, the big European bloodbath, which was very entertaining. So that would probably be up there too. So as far as sports coming back, man, I'm with you, Dan. I don't know. I mean, I keep talking to athletic directors who they keep hemming and hawing. If you get them on the record, they're going to say we're playing college football this fall. If you get them off the record, they're saying they're not so sure. And so if we're not going to have college football, I don't know what we're going to have. I mean, it's going to be a long time before we're back to normal.
Yeah. Well, we still got our poker tournaments. We got the birthday squatching. We got stories about Rieger, Jeff Rieger. So we got things to do, I guess. And hopefully some safe golf soon. Tony, thanks for being a great friend. I'm very lucky to have you in my life for sure.
All right, happy birthday tonight, and don't play very good poker. Which
that's not hard to do for me.
No, you're the best at getting all the chips and pissing them away. You're the best, buddy.
I definitely am. Maybe tonight's the night.
All right, guys, take
Tony,
care.
love you, buddy.
Tony. Bye-bye.
We got Phil Cavalcade and Whimsy still waiting to come up. We'll get to them in a second. But I did want to.
This is pure insanity. Sean, I mean, we've done. Sean and I have done some stupid stuff before. This is right up.
but it's also vintage Leach.
It's Leach. That's exact. It is very Leach. I'll give you that. No doubt about it.
I wanted to ask all of you this, and we're going to start with Lawton because it's been the talk of everything, and I know some love it, some don't. But Lawton, The Last Dance has been, in many people's opinion, a cultural phenomenon. You're a huge NBA guy. You're a huge Kobe guy. You respect Michael Jordan, though. What has The Last Dance meant for you?
Well, The Last Dance to me was arguably one of the best documentaries I ever watched. I could literally watch it again 10 hours straight. I love it because it just kind of takes me back to the 90s and Michael Jordan and the whole fiasco and phenomenon that was MJ. I'm not sure if you saw some of the comments today from Horace Grant. You know, he bashed a lot of the documentary, and obviously he has the right to do that. It's his opinion and whatnot. But I mean, it's kind of as expected. I feel like there's a certain narrative that goes along with Michael Jordan. He has a brand, and you know, there's some things that he's not gonna want to bring up. And then there's stuff that, like, I thought it was interesting that he brought up the push on Brian Russell. You know, I thought that was kind of interesting that he would bring that up. Just something that he probably, such a small detail he might not have even really had to touch. The stuff with his dad and how it being, you know, connected with the gambling and some of those things I thought were really interesting topics that he touched on. But I felt like it really encompassed everything all the way through 98. And boy, they didn't really miss a beat, in my opinion. They covered everything. So one of the best documentaries I've seen in a long time.
Sean, what do you think the fascination is with, I mean, obviously we know MJ is one of the greatest ever, but the MJ LeBron debate's part of it. And also, did you think it was one of the great documentaries of all time?
You know what? I don't know about you guys, and I apologize. I couldn't hear what Lunchbox was saying for part of that. So if I'm repeating what he said, I apologize right away. I thought the last couple episodes let me down. I thought it was more propaganda in the last couple episodes. I'm not being a quote unquote hater because I thought it was phenomenal. It was a tremendous series. But I really, to me, a lot of the heat that Michael Jordan has been receiving just in the past few days, I'm sure you guys saw the Horace Grant stuff. I think it's deserved. I really, the last couple of weeks, it seemed very MJ slanted. He was phenomenal. Dan, I think we talked about it a few weeks ago. I was that prototypical guy around here that hated everything about him. I couldn't stand him, couldn't stand the Bulls. And then it was 92 for me. I vividly remember during that series with Portland, I literally sat back and I said, I might be watching the greatest player of all time. And I feel that way today. No disrespect to LeBron and everything that he's done. I still feel that way today. I mean, he was an assassin. You know, the only guy that I can, you know, liken him to is you know, that assassin gene that Kobe had. I mean, look, it's generational. You're going to have guys today say that LeBron's the best they ever saw. And, you know, 20 years from now, there's probably going to be another guy that generation says was the greatest they ever saw. I've always joked we become like our fathers and, you know, the guys that we saw were the best. I'm convinced that Michael Jordan was the best. Convinced. But, yeah, I mean, look, it was a great documentary. Just the last couple weeks, to me, it was more propaganda than not.
Sure. Deez, you're one of the biggest NBA guys I know, and I've always respected your takes on the NBA. Did you like The Last Dance? And does Michael Jordan, his legacy, I think, as far as a winner, is not ever going to be touched. But is his legacy, as maybe some people didn't know, that he was kind of a jerk, that he had gambling issues, all that stuff, is that maybe going to be looked at differently?
I think both guys are spot on. He's not kind of a jerk, Dan. He is a jerk. You know, and he's a bit of and he was the greatest of all time. There's no question about it. But he was also a bit of a con man. I mean, people that want to bash Isaiah and call him a con man, MJ was just as bad. I mean, Sean just brought it up. We had 10 episodes and never met his family. You know, I mean, we all knew he was married to Juanita. He had kids. Like, they were barely mentioned in this whole thing. Scottie Pippen and the 1.8 taking himself out of the game. Why was that in the documentary? It had nothing to do with Jordan. Now, again, I'm not defending Pippen there. There's no defending that move to take himself out of that game. But I think that was MJ liking to kind of twist the knife a little bit on his running mate for a little bit there. I thought Horace Grant was kind of spot on today when he said that. I thought it was very good. But the greatest thing I've ever seen, and an Emmy, 10, 15 Emmys, I'm not ready to go that far. I thought it was really good, but no, I didn't think it was great by any stretch. And it's funny because all those Pistons guys, you know this, Mahorn, Lambeer, a lot of those guys probably didn't watch a single episode. But that's the beauty of that rivalry from back in the day, is that they still hate each other. And so that I thought was pretty cool, that stuff early.
Sean, you have something there?
No, I think it's funny because Matt's exactly right. This is Michael Jordan being Michael Jordan. This is what Michael Jordan is. This is what he was. This is what he is. And it's fascinating to me, you know, when you think back to that era. Let's face it, they were punked. There's no doubt about it. They were punked by the Pistons, and no doubt about it, the Bulls punked them back. But it was a fascinating time to live because, you know, we were coming out of the era. I think, Dan, we're old enough to remember. I'm not sure you're so old enough to remember. I remember when the NBA was so far off the radar, and you were watching tape delays of the 1980 NBA Finals. I mean, that's real, and I tell that to my kids now, and they kind of give you the look, but that's real. So what Magic and Bird did was one thing. What Michael Jordan did really was another thing. And I have to give Stern credit for that, because you may not like Michael Jordan, but this league absolutely positively went to yet another level with everything that Jordan and Jordan brand was.
Beautifully said. I got a quick poll question for everybody, but I got a comment from our friend Jason Hillman. He said, "Come on, Sean, give me a Big 11 reference. Come on." And Rick Clark Jr. says, "I just want to hear Derry on the mic at Jimmy John's Field again."
That's a good question. I mean, Andy, who runs it, Andy Appleby, the CEO, is awesome, and they're shooting, I guess, for early June, but we got to make sure we are very, 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 very safe and ready and prepared to have any kind of live sports anywhere. I mean, Dan, you and I talked a while ago with Dave about that. It's still gonna take some time, but you know, I talked to a guy that I work with today down in Florida, and he's like, "Ooh, we're opened up and we're eating lunch and we're playing golf," and we're not at that point yet, and that's okay. Let's make sure we're safe and ready to go before we're putting sports on. But I hope so. I mean, it's a lot of fun. If you guys have not been up to Utica, it's a blast. And but I mean, I just, man, I mean, it's gonna be so difficult to, you know, and even Major League Baseball talking about no spitting, no showering. You know, if you're a shortstop and you want to hold the runner on second base, but you don't want to be you can't get too close to him if there's like a foul ball. It's going to be a lot to figure out before they actually get up and run. But baseball needs to be the first one in. That would be huge for that sport to be the first one in. If they screw this up with labor problems and
I agree,
and Boris running the show, and basketball or hockey sneaks in before them, that would be awful for them. They need to be the first ones in.
Well, and I was talking to our boy Jeremiah, the old SID at Detroit U, and they're talking about fans at Jimmy John's Field. That sounds a little crazy to me.
Jeremiah misses you down at Callahan Hall, Dan, I'm sure.
The barn.
You and your splish splash calls.
Splish splash. I got us on Sports Center. John, what's the Big 11 reference?
Oh, years ago, I used to make fun of the whole Big 10, Big 11 thing, and you know, insisting on calling itself the Big 10 when it wasn't Big 10. So. Boy, that seems like a long time ago. I mean, like we talked about the last show, a lot of that stuff, and no disrespect to Jay or Matt, obviously had a great time at that radio station, but it's kind of funny. It seems like so long ago now, you know. I mean, it was. I mean, really, it was that we were all together there 15, 16 years ago. So, yeah, I used to any opportunity I could get to mock the Big 10 back in the day because they were so far behind the times. It's funny because back then nobody would say it. Nobody wanted to admit it. And you know what? I think now people are readily admitting it. You know, it was time for them to move. Forget about it in the 21st century into the 20th century in a myriad of ways, and it finally did.
The Porchos, by the way, the chat say, I love how the bad boys got under Jordan's skin even still today. It's funny because Jordan hates the Pistons, by the way. It's not that we didn't know that, but when you saw it, what was it, episode 3? He's like, yeah, I hate those guys. Like, it was 28 years ago. It's 30 years ago. Get over it, MJ. But my quick poll to everyone on the panel, starting with Sean. Is Michael Jordan the GOAT? I'll answer first, yes. Sean?
Yeah, yes.
Deez? Is Diesel on a delay? Can you hear us? Dave, we'll go to you first, Dave.
Yes,
Dave.
yes. Yeah, Michael Jordan for sure, yes.
I missed
Lon's
the
been
question.
coach.
I'm sorry, Dan.
No problem. Is Michael Jordan the GOAT, yes or no? Can you hear me? Jordan, GOAT, yes, no, maybe? I think Diesel has not paid the internet bill for the high speed.
Oh, yes.
He said yes. Yes.
He said yes.
Yes.
Lon, you're a big Kobe guy. Is he the GOAT? Michael
Yeah,
Jordan.
I mean, I think after watching that documentary, you're just reminded that Jordan's the unicorn and everybody's chasing number 2. I have no question in my mind. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player I've ever seen.
All right, I want to bring in a guy for a minute here that I know that Sean and Dave know. I don't know if Lawton does, I don't know if Derry does, but the great Ray Templin, who set up this entire software for me, and which, by the way, if people don't know, we are doing a Task Force 50-50 raffle. There's the information on the screen. Half to the winner, half to Task Force software costs. I know Diesel bought 100 tickets. Belize bought some for his entire family, but there's all the info. You can PayPal to Lawton. You can send Venmo, etc. I'm not doing the show for money right now. Just want to keep doing good stuff. I know Diesel loves the ingenuity of the Task Force 50-50 raffle.
All paid in Bitcoins.
Yes, or Bitcoins. Ray, you're a big reason that this software is even up there. Sean, I know you work with Ray. Dave worked with Ray. And I'd like to say that Ray is one of the finest noblemen I've known in the business.
Yeah, you know what? He worked with us back in the day at the Fan, and I know Matt knows this. And, you know, he's helped us out of so many jams and binds and little things. You know, he's one of those guys that, I mean, I'll give you an example. He called me over the weekend for something that he didn't have to call me for, and that's Ray. So, yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because I think a lot of times, you know, engineers and guys behind the scene don't get some love. So I'm glad, Dan, that you brought that up. Razor, much respect, pal.
Well, and I'll tell you this, and I'll let Dave give a comment here for a second. I wish I still employed by 97.1 the ticket. I love working for them, but right now there's not any air shifts, and I understand that. And to be able to do this kind of show, whether it's my birthday or not, to connect with people. I've had you on, Sean. I've had you on, Matt. It's been very special shows Lawton's been on. And to be able to connect with an audience that appreciates, you know, I say this with humility, what I do, to be able to have someone like Ray get me set up on this software, which is incredible, and bring 6 people in at once, live chat, all that stuff. Ray, you're a godsend. And I think that, like you said, Sean, people need to know the guys behind the scenes, even our boy Chuck Keller, who's done it for 30 years, the general, that there are people that are just as important as those of us that you see on the screen that are helping us bring you this product. Ray, for that, I salute you. Much like, by the way, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, sent me a tweet for my birthday today. It's one of the coolest things I've ever gotten in my life. Ray, we salute you. Dave, any comments for Ray?
Oh, I work with Ray over at the station. He's a mentor and he's a great guy. He's taught me a lot, and I've known Ray for 20 some years because I knew him back in the WXYT days at CBS. So I don't think Ray and I worked together at DFN when I was there, but I've known Ray for a long time.
I actually worked with Matt and Sean back in Detroit in the back on East Jefferson there, and getting how you were talking about behind the scene when Comerica Park was first built. Greg Henson had a chance to dude that when they hired Phil Garner, and they go,
Yeah.
Ray, can you have that go live because no one can get in there? And I go, I saw the old Marty antenna that was in the back that hasn't been fired up in 10 years. I drove the van over there. I had a generator, stole the feed off of XYZ, and we were the only radio station that actually put it live on the air. And I was holding, back then was those big old cell phones in one ear. Rona was on the other end, and I was aiming right to the Cadillac Tower, and I sat there for an hour, just holding everything. And we were the only station that was able to get that on. And like, that's the stuff that, you know, like a lot of people, like, they go, you can't do it. I like to challenge. Ask Dave, ask Sean. I mean, it's like, especially what's going on nowadays with everybody doing their show from home. And ask Sean and Dave on how I had to scramble to get every single show able to do their show from home. And like Sean and it's like every single show that we got on right now is like it's done at home. And we only have 3 pieces of equipment that can do it from home. But I had to figure out to get everything all done. And that's just my nature.
That's why you're the guy, and there's big things in the works. And Ray, I can't thank you enough. And hopefully you think the show looks good because this is a lot to do with what you helped me with, my friend.
Hey, where's my other lower thirds that I did, like the top part? You got to show everybody.
Let's do this really quick. And we got another special guest coming in. We got broadcasting live. It's pretty
Ray,
sick,
you did
right?
a good job, man. It's good stuff.
Yep, check that out. We got that. We also have
all right, Dan. I'm
different
signing off, brother.
backgrounds.
Love you.
Diesel,
Happy
take care,
birthday,
buddy.
bud.
Good to see you, man.
Diesel, be good. Thanks for joining us.
All right, man.
See you guys.
I got to get back to that. Sean, you got to stand for. I got a special guest for you in 1 second here.
Okay.
Ray,
You
thank
broke it already. You already broke your software
there you go.
already.
I love it. Ray, thanks for everything and big things ahead for us.
Yes, they are.
All right, my man. Thanks for joining on the birthday show. You're the best. But now, Sean and Dave are going to love this. The legendary, my favorite partner, Dennis 50 at Fat Rack has jumped in to the task force.
What's up, Dennis?
D5th, what's going on? Nice shirt, buddy.
Hey, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. When it comes down to a primetime performer, it's Mr. Leach on his birthday. Hey, I want to get Luke Skywalker to give me a shout out, baby. Let's go. I'm going to tell you this. One time, Dan, when I was at my house, I had a party, and he came out there. And, of course, he was the last one to leave. And we played the reason is we were playing head-to-head poker. I know it's a huge surprise to everybody. I was taking him down. We were going back and forth. And finally, I chopped off his last leg there. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go. And, I walked him out. It was a long day. And I brushed my teeth. And I walked in probably 10 minutes from the time he walked out. And I went in to go to sleep. And it started raining, not just a little bit of rain, like a deluge, like I'd never seen before. And I thought, I live out in the Dexter out in the woods, man. This is farm country. And I'm like, man, poor Dan is not making it home. I looked outside. I'm like, I don't know how anyone, could make it home. And, he made it home. That's the, to kill the end of the story there. I don't know how he did it, but happy birthday, man.
Thank you very much. Dennis, as you guys know, Dennis means the world to me, much like you guys all do. And it's one of those things where there's people, and Sean, I've talked to you about this, and Dave obviously knows this. There's people that you meet in your life and in this crazy business, because we've all been through the craziness that really resonate and get you. And Sean, you and I never got a chance to do shows together, but I felt that way about you as well. But Dennis, for those that have never heard me say this, and hopefully everyone has, there's no better partner and friend in the business than I've had than Dennis. And I look towards the future with you and I5th, and the sky's the limit, my friend. But you have been a great friend as well as a great broadcast professional and partner. And without you, I would be half of the broadcaster I am. That's for sure.
Well, you know what? Those are nice words, but I was able to collect. I even threw it down. It was like the odds were tilted. It wasn't even worth betting, but I knew you were going to say that, so I bet it anyways. But 5-1, man, you'll be on. You'll make it big in the year 2020 here, and we'll be doing something big.
Hey, Dave, do we have a question for the King Fifth here?
Oh, of course, in honor of Dennis Fithian being the big Michigan guy that he is. So I need to know, Dennis, the year Dan was born, 1977. Can you give me the results of the 1977 Rose Bowl?
1977 Rose Bowl against USC. Michigan lost that game 21-14.
There we go. You knew that he'd be on top of it.
Love it. Hey, Sean, I can't thank you enough for coming on, and we'll definitely have to do another task force soon. Before I let you go, any parting shots from you, and just thank you for being who you are. You're another guy in this business that's an inspiration to me and many others, and I'm really happy with your show with McCarty, and I just can't thank you enough for what you've taught people like me to be a good guy. You're one of the good guys.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that more than anything. Seriously, have fun. Don't you take yourself too serious. And, I've always listened to you guys from afar and always appreciated it. I told Dennis when I was with him a couple of weeks ago, I feel the same way. We never had a chance to work together. That didn't mean that I didn't listen to you guys for years and everything. So continued success to you and to you as well. And nice chat with you, Lunchbox, and Rieger. I'll see you whenever.
Yeah,
Sean, is that? I'll see you whenever. I hope I don't see you whenever.
It's kind of the roll of the eyes. It's kind of the roll of the eyes. Yeah.
No. Sean and I, epic days during Lions away games. And you know what, Sean, all I have to say is, can you just please do a better job of getting some better food in there for us? Okay. Come on.
Sean's biting the food.
I'll work on it. I promise.
Sean, thanks so much for coming out. Just the kind of guy you are to pop in tonight and help celebrate my birthday. Thank you so much, Sean. I love you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
The great Sean Belizean, everybody. Appreciate that. We got some more people waiting, including Matt Towers. We'll get to them in a minute. Great. Before Fifth, I wanted to ask you, we just talked about The Last Dance. I know you've obviously been following it. You've done some great podcasts and stuff on it. Do you think there are people, and I forgot to mention this earlier, there are people that are talking with the new Oscar rules that there is a real chance that The Last Dance could be nominated for an Oscar because they're going to change the specifications for it having to be released in a theater that obviously because of COVID-19. People are saying it could be the winner of the Oscar. Do you think it was that good, Dennis? Do you think that we learned a lot of stuff? Or like some are saying, was it overrated?
Well, I'll tell you what. I love the Pistons and I love the Bad Boys. And I was 11 years old when Isaiah won with Indiana. And then the year later when Jordan was a freshman with Carolina, I'm 12 years old. So those guys, watching Isaiah climb the ladder to the Celtics, to the Lakers, and then hold off Chicago there. My three favorite things when I was in high school, it should have been school, family, and God, but it was basketball. And the Pistons were right on the top of that list, right here. And it was all about the Bad Boys and what they were able to do. I mean, there was nothing better. It was basketball, girls, my friends, and poker. Unfortunately, that was the list for me in high school. And I'm up, but you know what? Having said all of that about the Pistons and everything else, and I love Isaiah. I had a life-size poster of him in my room growing up. I've always been there for the Jordan content, man. Jordan is phenomenal, man. And that's the one part that I have against Piston fans who are like, I didn't watch The Last Dance. And Jordan, I didn't even want to watch him. You know what? I'm all true blue Piston. Well, you know what? True red, white, and blue Piston. You missed the most phenomenal athlete of all time, man. He was a show every time, and just in suspense of what he was going to do. I've always been there for anything that's Jordan. I could watch all of it. That's me, from the shoes to the moves to everything else, man. He was the greatest, even though I think LeBron came right up to right there and even past him. It was a premature goating by me. 2018 finals, and after game one, he had hit the game winner against the Raptors. Man, I was caught up. Even though I said I wasn't going to put him in front of MJ, I had to wait until after the playoffs. I did it anyways after game one, where he had like 50 points. against the Warriors. That was a premature GOAT, and I felt remorse right away. But man, I love Jordan, and I love the documentary, a docu-series, the presentation for Jordan. Hey, I'll vote for The Last Dance over, what's he in the running with here? I don't even know what other movies are out.
Probably something from Mexico and some crazy like gas or like the environment documentary. But I could totally see it. Listen, I will say this, and I loved it too. But whether you thought it was the best thing ever, really, really good, or just average, it kept America captivated for the last 5 Sundays during a pandemic. So whether you love Jordan, hate Jordan, like me, respect him, but hate him, but respect the hell out of him, GOAT, it kept us together and connected as sports fans for 5 Sundays. And not many things can do that. So I think very well said what you had to say, Dennis. And whether it wins or not, it doesn't matter. The fact that it had this significance, much more important than a Tiger King. And I love Ozark and shows like that. But this was real life. Yeah, Tiger King. And this Fifth and Identity, by the way, season 2, Fifth. And I want to get to your TV stuff in a second. And we got to open my Long Lut's birthday present. Got a couple people waiting. And one quick thing before we go, we do have the Task Force 50-50 raffle lot. You kept track of it. We're going to draw it live in a minute. If anyone wants to get a final ticket in, $5 per ticket, no limit, 50% to the winner, 50% to Dennis 50 because I love him. No, 50% to the Task Force software costs. PayPal's up there, Cash App, Venmo at Lawton Lunch. Just email Lawton your name and number of entries. Appreciate the support. I'm not doing this for money. It's just for the software. So this show is for the law. Maybe Fifth and I down the road, we'll have a different show that, maybe bring some sponsors in, but just for love for now. But Fifth, I did want to ask you, and I want to bring in a couple other people here in just a second, but you and I love TV. One of the favorite things that I loved of the shows that we've done in the past is our talking of movies and TV. What are you binging right now? Because there's a lot to do at home, but there's a lot of great TV right now.
Yeah, well, right now I'm watching The Last Kingdom, and it's awesome. It really is. That's on Netflix. It's like Braveheart, except a long series, so I'm really enjoying that. I'm just into season 2. F-Witch, let's go, man. King of Bebenberg, I'm all about that. I did watch Dead to Me. I thought it wasn't as good as the first season, but you know what? It was still pretty captivating. I like it, man. It's a who's done it kind of, no, this can't happen again, and it did, so I'm with that. And I finished up finally Orange is the New Black. And I got to tell you, I don't think it hits for people because it's so up and down. At one point, it can be like you think like, man, this thing is almost childish, goofy comedy about women in prison. And then like 5 minutes later, it's like, hey, here's psychological horror. And you're like, whoa, this took a turn that I didn't expect. And it was really like that over the 6-7 seasons. And I finished up just like that. But, I give it a solid B, man. And there's parts about that where you put all of these women in prison and they do their backstories, they do the guard backstories, and they're going how it feels like it's real. Other times it feels like it's fairyland. But I don't think it gets the critical acclaim because it was so wild and all over the map. But I liked it, and I finished that up here during the pandemic as well.
Love it. All right, I want to do 2 quick things here. Dennis, stick around for just a second here. I love you being around. But first, I got to bring in Mike Hinckley, who he's the one that designed original. What's the name again? The Twitter name, Original Version?
The Original Version. That's me. Yep. Hey, guys.
Yeah, guys.
Happy
Mike
birthday,
designed.
Man. Hey, Mike.
Thank you. You designed my great 30 years for my bar mitzvah meme, which I think is phenomenal. And also, you did the show preview, which I know I have somewhere in here. And you've done many things for me in the past and many things for others. And I can't thank you enough. I love this. Look at that setup that Mike's got with the Wings jersey.
That's my wall. That is my wall of fame over there, guys. And Dan, it has been, of course, a total pleasure and an honor doing stuff for you guys. I'm here to help anytime. It is a total pleasure.
Hey, means a lot. Before we let you go, Dave, we have a question for Mike. Let's get him some prizes.
All right, Mike. Let's see here.
This
Doing
I
stuff for
believe
Dan's
for-
birthday. So, May 19th, 1981, this building was designated as a New York City landmark. What building was designated as a New York City landmark today, 1981?
I'm gonna take a wild stab in the dark, and I'm gonna say the Empire State Building.
That is correct. You got you the
Nice.
winner,
And
Dan.
guess what you win? You, Mike, you're a Red fan. This is a program for the last game at LCA before the pandemic. It's all yours.
Oh, that is fantastic. Thank you, guys.
Look at Dennis. Dennis has the. Where did Dennis get his banner from? That's sick.
Hey, dude, I got to tell you guys, I got a little bit more over on the wall here. Fifth Third back in the day was giving out a couple of the Stevie Y retirement, the little mock banners, and I got a couple Stevie Y banners up there. And yep, this is my jam. My senior all night party was actually the night the Wings won the first cup in '97. So
love it. Hey,
Go
Dennis, that's a
Wings!
pretty sick. That's a sick banner. Mike,
Go
thanks for all
Wings!
the work that you do. Thank you for dropping in. I can't thank you enough for all the stuff you've helped make. It is incredibly awesome, and I'm incredibly grateful for it.
guys, totally my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Dan.
You got it. Mike Hinckley, the man, the myth, original version. All right, so we've got to draw my present. We got to draw the raffle, but I got to let this joker in for a second. D Rose, Dennis, you played poker with him in the tournaments we've had. He thinks he's the best golfer. He's like me, best in everything. D Rose, say hi to the people.
Absolutely. How's it going, Dan? Happy birthday, buddy. Thanks for having me on. Lawton is probably the only guy that knows me.
Yes, Lawton and D Rose work together.
Yep.
And then we've got one more surprise guest, and this is a guy who will hate when I show something. He'll hate this.
Oh, don't even go get this. I know what he's doing.
He'll hate. Fifth,
No,
you'll
no,
appreciate
no,
this.
yeah.
Because you were cheering for me. This is the UFFL trophy that I beat Towers to prevent his three-peat. And it says Eye of the Jew right there for the championship version. Matt, you know I love that.
Well, happy birthday, Dan. I appreciate you bringing me on, even if you're going to shove that in my face right away.
You know I love you. All right, so before we go, and I do have another question for Pitt before we go too. And Lon Emmy wait to open this present, and he said that there's pieces for everyone in this. So he's got the maize and blue bag.
You got to open the card first, Danny. Okay, and then I'll tell the story after we're done.
First.
Yeah.
Here, let me put it on me for a second here. Not to take it off you, fine citizens, but I'll put it on me so it can be a little closer. All right, so here's the card. Opening the card. It is an Israeli, you're the man. And it says, now it's official. Congrats on your bar mitzvah. 30th anniversary. That's the greatest card ever. Ever.
So,
all right, here we go.
So before he opens the gift, I'll give you guys a little story. So last night I stopped by Danny's place and I said, hey, I'm going to give you your present, but you got to promise me you're not going to open it until tomorrow. We'll do it on the show. He said, okay. And so I planted a seed with him because I had already written that card. I said, hey, wait a minute. It's your 30th anniversary of your bar mitzvah. And he's like, oh my God, it is. I didn't even think about that. And I go, yeah. So you're going to see great stories are ahead. But I will say I'm very excited for you to open this gift. And I without further ado.
All right, here we go. I like very nice wrapping. I don't want to get rid of the wrapping. Oh, first off, the color is great. It's blue. But it is, let's see. Oh my God. It's a Believe shirt. Look.
But do you know who makes the Believe shirt?
Hold on. I know this, but it's this little emblem here. Why can't I think of that?
We have a very big history with this one player. He's a former Bronco, and we still have a bet that you owe me on. And that is a T-shirt from the line of Tim Tebow, the one Tim Tebow. Now, for those of you who do not know the story, I'm going to try to cut this a little short, but there's a lot of stuff that to unpack. So here we go. So I think most of us will all agree that Dan is good for his hot takes, right? So we were having a conversation. This was probably back in 2011, 2012. And Towers and Rieger are going to remember the days of Eddie Royal and Willis McGahee and all these great Bronco players, right? So Tim Tebow was the starting quarterback. And Danny looks at me and says, he will never in his life win a playoff game.
Oh,
I go, you don't think he'll win? Like, I mean, I feel like, he's going to win one. I mean, he's going to be on a team. I mean, you don't think he'll ever win a playoff game? Danny's like, I will bet you dinner at any restaurant of your liking that he'll never. And I'm like, dude, I'll take that bet. I was like, because if I got to take you out, I'll do it. But I mean, anybody can end up lucky on a playoff team, right? And just happen to win a game. Doesn't matter. So he said, never will win one. So the date, I'll never forget, my daughter's 12th birthday, January 8th, 2012. I just happened to sit down and watching the whole game. And if the Bronco guys on here remember, Tim Tebow had quite a few really deep passes in the game, even in the first half. And I was like, man, he's actually playing really good. Now, he had a few that we threw in the dirt, but whatever. So, of course, we all remember how that game ended. They go to overtime. They win the coin toss. And first snap, play action to Demaryius Thomas, and he took it to the house. I think everybody in the neighborhood heard me because I screamed so loud in my house, I almost broke glass. I was going nuts. Because not only did that happen, but I knew Danny owed me dinner, and I was going to make him at least take me to Jay Alexander's. I mean, bare minimum. We're starting right there, right? So flash forward, right? Over the years, I've always given Danny a lot of crap because he's never paid the bet. But
that's shocking. That's shocking.
Not right. So I'm sitting here. This is just a few weeks ago, and I'm actually connected to Tebow on LinkedIn because he does a lot of leadership stuff now. So I follow him. He just has some good speeches and whatnot. And so you know how on Facebook, when you follow certain people like that, you get these random things. Well, he released this clothing line, and I'll be doggone. I'm looking at my phone one night, and this shirt comes up, says "Believe." And we all know Dan from a long time. I mean, he how many times have you heard him say "Believe the dream"? Right? So I show it to my wife. I go, I got Danny's birthday present right now. She's like, what is it? And she just burst out in laughter. I go, it's a Tim Tebow shirt that says "Believe." This is no better shirt ever for this guy to have. So
I love it.
The fact that Rieger comes on tonight with his Bronco stuff on, we got Towers in the house. It's perfect, man. And one of these days, I'm sure I'll get that dinner. One of these days.
I promise you I will. All right, you guys, I can't thank all of you enough. Fifth, I wanted to ask you this. You know how much you mean to me on many levels. When it comes to your life as a sports fan, and obviously we've shared some of these moments together, but is there one moment for you above all else that if you think on it and think about, because you're a heartfelt guy like I am, what's that moment that's meant the most to you? Being a fan, and what's meant the most to you covering as a journalist?
Well, covering as a journalist, I don't know if I've ever been called a journalist, but I can remember the no-hitter against Verlander being there. There were moss all over the field, and going through that whole thing. I always wanted to go to a baseball game, and I was young, I would be always the one, in the first or second inning, like there goes the no-hitter and everything else. But to be there and to be able to cover that, as a working member of the media, that was number one. Number two, although I had a press pass, it was like being a fan. I was up on the photo deck of the old Michigan Stadium in '97 when Woodson ran that punt back, man. It kind of is it's kind of a still memory where I'm like floating out onto the field. It was pretty awesome, man. So those are the two that come to mind.
Well, Fifth, you like to tell the story. We've said it on air many times, and Dave knows this, that I didn't give him the rose, but I was next to him on the field with the rose. It's one of your favorite "is it true or not true" Leach stories, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what? I know that you handed him the rose, and then you got it back, and then you put it in your mouth, and you took it home, and you pressed it inside your book, and you still had it, but then somebody stole it, and all of that. It's a pretty amazing rose story. I really do like it, So it was great. You and Woodson, man, down there on the field.
Chucky, Dennis, thanks so much for coming on, and I know we got some stuff planned for the future. You know how much I love you, and you're just you're as pure as it comes, my friend.
Yeah, well, you know what, Kingpin, you're doing a great job on the show. I don't know how you handle Dan. You put it all together. And,
Yeah, I don't know how
great
you've
job
handled
there.
him for all the years you did. So yeah.
Yeah, continued success. When you guys were talking about John Elway, bring me back there. I watched his whole career. I had him right behind Montana until Brady jumped up there, and maybe a couple others. So I'm good there. Happy birthday, happy bar mitzvah, and all of it. Continued success.
Take care,
Fifth,
Dennis.
I love you, my
Good
man. We'll
seeing
talk
you.
soon. The great Dennis Fithian, everybody. And by the way, Rob Davidek has said hello. Tom Phillips, and we do have I think we have one more surprise. I'm supposed to be playing poker right now, but I do believe I think we have Martin Weiss. Do we?
I'm here.
I just said,
I'm on here. I don't know why it's not like coming through the camera. Oh, there it goes. Hey.
there he is, Martin Weiss.
Hey, Martin.
Dave, you know
Martin
Martin Weiss.
Riga. How you doing, Happy birthday, Leach.
Thanks, buddy. You look how clean and tight you look in California.
Man, don't let it fool you. It's the camera. I haven't gotten a haircut in 3 months.
So, Dave, you've known Martin forever, but were you ever at 97.1 when Martin was there?
No, but I will say Martin did some of the best updates at night in that whole station. I told everybody. I told my brother that. I told you that. I told Fithian that. Martin did the best updates at night.
I appreciate that, Dave.
Martin, I think you know how special of a guy I think you are. We had great times together. I'm so proud of your work. Let everyone know what you're doing out there. You've been at FS1 out in California with the hot blondes and every kind of girl. Well, what's going on? Let everyone know what you've been doing. Did he freeze?
I think he froze.
Well, it's a good smile on him. D Rose, do we have a quick trivia question for D Rose while Weiss gets his camera back? By the way, really quick, only a Wings fan says happy birthday. Way too many chats for Mike Hunt. Rick Clark Jr. was talking about Tiger King as the show he's watching. John Feed, I love that guy. John, by the way, this is great. Lawton, you might know John. He was the first on the scene when that terrible plane crash with the one little girl survivor. He was the first one on the scene there, and he helped save that girl. Mike DeLong is excited for golf on Friday. That's Blake Jr. That's Rich Recco's nephew. Porcho says Jordan 1, Kobe 2. Another one here from Thomas Phillips, who said the Big Ten plus the little one, and a lot of other very nice chats. The suicidal unicorn says happy hello and happy birthday. Rob Barnhill says hello. So appreciate everyone out there. We've got to draw. Lon, should we give the guys one more chance here? One more quick chance.
We've got 24 entries so far, so that's pretty good.
All right, it's great. 1 second before we do that. Martin, are you back? We lost
I don't know what happened. I was here.
You were on a great smiling face, though. So I was asking you, let everyone know what you're doing and kind of the journey you took from baller at 97.1 to baller on the coast.
So I went from 97 with the ticket. That was my first job out of college. It's where I met at Dave's brother Jeff and Dan, whose birthday it is today, as you all know. I met them over there, and they kind of helped me get a job. I ended up getting a job there, stayed there for a couple of years, and I kind of felt like I had reached kind of my ceiling of where I was trying to go. And I was blessed enough to make a connection with Rob Parker, who I met actually. The only reason I was even there that day was because it was the day that Prince Fielder had come back to Detroit for the first time. And I asked Tom if I could go and cover the game because I just kind of wanted to see the drama. And so I ended up meeting Rob there. We connect, and I started doing some work because he was trying to pitch some shows at the time. And so he needed people to kind of sit in the chair and be analysts. So I hopped in the chair as an analyst. One thing led to another. And now I work with him on his radio show out here in Los Angeles. I produce Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp on FS1. So,
and you're killing it. And Martin, many things. And you've helped save my life on Twitter. You taught me the goals and grandeur of Twitter. And Martin, you told me this, and I think about this all the time. And this is the kind of guy Martin is. You told me early on, because remember, I always loved Twitter. Some people think that I'm amazing on Twitter. I was thinking I'm an idiot. It's fine. But you told me it's no longer about being first. It's about being funniest. And that rang true with me years ago, and you're so right about that. Because who needs to be first anymore? It's about having a good, funny, heartening take, and obviously serious as well. And you've helped my Twitter game up itself. Analytics.
Because like those guys, like the Schefters of the world, the Rappaports of the world, they're going to be first. Like if you're trying to win that race, you'll never win it. You got to power you to get in.
Dave, let's get a question each for Doug, Towers. Towers, give him a stupid Broncos question. I'm kidding. And then we'll get one for Martin as well. And really quick before we do that, and thanks everyone for joining the birthday extravaganza. Here is the info for if you want to get a last second 50-50 DTM Squatch raffle ticket. Weiss bought 100 of them, which is very nice. So $5 a ticket. Lawton's info is right there on the screen. We're going to randomly, he's got a number generator. We're going to draw the winner. Half goes to the winner, half for the software for the task force. Weiss is going to give everyone good luck here. So please send it in if you want, and we'll have that in a second for you. Let's get a question for Doug first, Dave.
Well, we'll do this question for all three of them since we know you're such a big Star Wars fan. So we know that today's May 19th. We know it's your birthday. So 2 of the Star Wars movies debuted on May 19th.
Yep.
Which two Star Wars movies of all 9 of them, which 2 debuted? One in 1999, one in 2005, May 19th.
Oh, so we got episode 1 from 99, right? Is that?
Yeah. That's correct. Episode 1.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
And
Towers, Weiss, any ideas?
I'll give you guys. I know the answer, I think, but I'll let you guys go with it.
Yeah, don't say, because I went to it. I went to both of them. On my birthday, Towers, and you're a Star Wars guy.
It's got to be Revenge of the Sith, I'm guessing, no?
That's correct.
It is
episode 1 and episode 3.
Weiss, speaking of Twitter, did you see that Mark Hamill tweeted me on my birthday today?
I did not. I missed that one. Mark Hamill.
Luke Skywalker. All right, do we have another question? Give Weiss a question. He's pretty good at trivia. And Martin, if you win this, if you get this right, I think your prize is going to be a box of wipes. My dad's office.
Martin,
that's like gold these days. So.
I know. It's medical grade.
Right.
Martin, we know that Dan was born in 1977. What motion picture won the Oscar for Best Picture 1977?
I don't even know if I know this. I don't know this.
Honestly, my first thought would have, if you hadn't had Star Wars said Star Wars question beforehand, I would have said, I would have guessed like A New Hope. Just kind of felt like that would have.
Right.
It was nominated. It was nominated, but
it did not win, though. No.
All right, Dave.
Is it a mob movie?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not a mob movie. No.
Okay.
It's not Deliverance, is it? That's probably earlier.
It is not Deliverance. No.
It's easy.
What type of movie? Action movie? Dog Day?
Yeah. This would be considered an action movie. You consider a sports movie. You consider it. It has a little bit of drama to it.
Oh, someone just said it on the chat.
Let's just say that it started a huge franchise.
Yeah. There's been
no. I fucked up with the franchise. Damn it. Oh, excuse me. I didn't know.
No, it's okay. Swearing is allowed after 10 o'clock, Martin. Swearing is allowed. Any guesses? I know what it is.
It launched the career of this actor too, who became.
There's been
The Longest Yard? Wait, The Longest Yard?
No, it's not a bad guess. Not a bad guess. Let me give you one more hint. There have been 2 movies as part of this franchise with a different star actor in the role of the original guy's role, Not like he played the same guy, but those two movies have been in the last 5 years. And he also, the original guy, was in those movies.
I was about
there
to
it
say,
is.
There we go.
It's about this.
There
once
it
you
is.
said- I'm mad that I should have got the franchise earlier. Once
I
you
should
said
have too.
the person
I
changed,
thought for
but the
sure
main
was.
character changed, I knew it was Rocky.
There you go.
I will
Rocky.
tell you
Correct.
this. Some might not know this. Stallone wrote that, directed it, and did it for very little money. And then ended up, he had like a similar net to like the total George Lucas deal, but he got a crap ton of money because the studio gave him, the ability to make money on his product, on his project. And it turned into this crazy franchise that's made what? Dave, is it like $2 billion? It's made a lot of money. I know.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, Julie McManus says happy birthday, Gino Beretta. Mike Hunt keeps sending texts. We got a guy in the chat named Mike Hunt, Martin.
Lee, I got a trivia question for you.
All right.
I just heard this one yesterday, so it's still fresh in the top of my mind. And I guess everybody can answer it, but if you don't know it, it's going to be really embarrassing. The 3 quarterbacks who started games for the 0-16 Detroit Lions.
Oh, okay. 3.
Orlovsky. Hey, if you get this
Sean
right,
Hill.
Nope.
Wait, hold on. The guy from Rutgers, Mike McMahon.
Mike McMahon. No.
No.
No, Mike McMahon.
I got Orlovsky, Dan. So I got one more than you.
Orlovsky? I should know this.
Wasn't
Orlovsky, not Sean Hill?
No,
Sean Hill?
You've been wrong the whole time. Everybody else has got.
Who are the 2 ones?
Drew Stanton?
Say again?
Drew Hansen? Or Drew Stanton?
No, I guess that was the guess that I got wrong. The answer was John Kitna, Dan Orlovsky, and Dante Culpepper.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
That's
man.
the greatest 0-16 team in the history of the NFL. All right, let's draw a raffle winner. How many tickets do we have?
So we're still at 24. We have $120. So $60 to the winner, $60 to the software, right? Everybody wins.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Listen. I got to do Weiss just bought one.
Yeah, we got,
Did Weiss just buy one?
We got some
did
last
buy one.
here.
When you just put it up, hey, you can't. 50-50 is the best odds you're gonna get out here. I'll play 50-50
Hell yeah, it is.
anywhere.
All day long.
All right, listen.
All day long. All right, hold on.
I've got to do
I got
something.
the correct amount
really-
in here.
All right, he's got it in there. Martin Weiss might be the last in and the first to win. And the winner is
Okay. All right, so it's 65. 65 to the winner. All right, you're ready?
65.
That's pretty good, man. That's not too bad. So we got 26 total entries. Very good. All right. John Elway, lucky number 7 for you, Bronco.
Number 7?
Number 7 is going to go to Mr. Doug Rose.
Oh, very nice.
Doug Rose.
No way. Doug Rhodes wins. He's on the show when he wins. Look at this guy.
That's
You're going to
perfect,
put
yeah.
it right back into the show. Right back into the
Yes,
show.
that was one of your numbers.
All right, guys, I've got. I love it. Martin, thanks so much. Parting shots from you, my friend. It's so great to see you. Thanks for coming in. Is that your dog?
That's my dog. And mute me so I can tell him to be quiet.
All right, Rose, let me take you out for a second here because I got somebody coming in. And it's my best friend from California. It's Brad Monash. I don't know where he went, but he was there for a minute. Weiss, parting shots for you on the Great Squatch's birthday.
Well, Dan, it's been a pleasure and an honor to be friends with such a gentleman such as yourself. I tell you what, I don't know what you do every day, but I know it's a lot of it. I tell you what, man, that's like 3 years. I didn't even stretch first,
Dude, you got the game. But for real, I'm so proud of you. Can't wait to see you when things are normal again in California. And keep up the great work. Towers, I know I'm the bane of your existence. I got you in fantasy. I got you in the Super Bowl bet. But you are one of the great people I've ever known. You got the gaming headset on. Parting shots from you.
I just appreciate you getting the poker boys together. It's been a nice distraction these last few weeks. And I was going to say, if you had gotten those questions right earlier, I had a gift for you. You know, you got to get your fantasy football reading up. You got to work even harder when you want to repeat. You got to work even harder when you want to repeat, man. So, but
can I still have that anyway?
Sure. Next time I see you, man, I'll bring it.
Yeah,
Towers, I love you.
Before I go, I just like to say I'm glad to see your hotel room got a couch back there. That's nice.
I know. I finally got the hotel. They upgraded.
They put you in there. They took you out the basic economy suite and gave you. They gave you the frequent stay.
Martin, make sure you tell Shannon Sharp he's the man.
I will, man. I will. Just you. All right.
Lawton, one of my great Martin. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk soon, my friend. I love you. Great stuff for you. Lawton, you've been one of my oldest friends, and Towers knows this. You've been there for me for many different reasons. You dropped my birthday gift off. You got me some BK. You ran the raffle tonight. You helped me get back into broadcasting after I had major addiction issues. And there's really no better friend that someone could ask for than someone like you. I mean, I haven't known Towers as long. He's just like that. And, of course, Dave is one of the great people I've ever known. But I can't thank you enough, Lawton, for helping celebrate my birthday and a chance for you to give some parting shots. And by the way, you have an amazing family. You're an amazing father. And I just think that people are so lucky to have you in their life.
Thanks, man. That's a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. It's my pleasure. Anybody that knows me, I'm always there to help somebody. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a small part or a large part. My only parting shot is real simple. I mean, I got you a shirt for your birthday, and I got you this shirt for women. You can wear this nice Tebow Florida special. I can't wait to take a picture of you in public. It's going to be sick, as you would say.
You have to. You got the Tebow shirt. What the hell? What am I going to do with that?
Florida Gators Tebow jersey is what it is.
All right, and obviously in the same stat, Dave. We've done what is this, our 28th show? He's been here for every show.
We've done a lot of
them. He's one of the best friends you could ask for. He
I
gives
have,
me a ton of shit.
I have one trivia question, especially that I saved for you, Dan.
All right, good. We'll do
before
one
we
second.
go.
But I've got to say this. They're much like Lawton and Towers and all these other people that have come on. Actually, I'm going to let me see if Brad, I can get him one more time here. Is Neater Chuck available? This is my best friend. Brad is one of my oldest friends. He's a doctor in San Francisco. He's been working like 20-hour days for the last 2.5 months. So I really hope we get him on before the show ends. Lawton, you met there, and there he is, Spoons. Spoons is on.
Hey, there he is. Happy birthday, the greatest guy alive.
He also does the greatest Leech impersonation out there.
One of the greatest out there. One of the greatest.
Brad, are you at home?
I am. I'm home. I just got home. I was having a hard time calling in during my commute, but I got home. I'm on Wi-Fi and it's working.
Well, I just gave you a great intro. I don't know if you heard it, but I said you've been working like a crazy person, saving lives. And really quick, let everyone know are you on a research? You're the head of the research team. Hey, and we've got Addie. The kids are in the house. That's his beautiful daughter, Addie. Addie, you just take a shower or go
Take a
swimming?
shower? Or go swimming.
I took a shower. I'm in a bath.
Baths are fun. Pills are good. But Brad, Addie, it's good to see you.
I don't do research, but so you're not
But you
close,
said you were the head of a team.
I oversee the medical service at the hospital.
So
it's
what's life
clinical.
been like you during this?
You know what? It's been busy. We actually, did a good job in the Bay Area. Probably some luck and sheltering in place early and flattened the curve. So we built out 2 big COVID wards, and thankfully, we never had to fill them. So it's been a lot of work, and it's a good thing to have nobody show up to the party.
Are you going on a jog right now, or are you just taking us through your house?
No, Vicky makes me take off my clothes in the garage, so I took off all my clothes in the garage, and I'm putting
Smart.
on clothes in the house. So Shutting
All
my
right,
hospital closed.
2 quick things. Dave, do we have a trivia question for Brad? Give him an easy one because his sports knowledge is not like Towers.
Oh, it's terrible.
Okay, let's see here.
It could be we have a lot of 1977 trivia, Brad.
Yes, this is.
There's a 0% chance of me getting any sports trivia right.
All right, so we'll give you this one. So this one was from May 19th. Today's being Dan's birthday in 1996. Let's see. Do we want to give him this one or do we want to give him? Okay, we'll do this one. In 1977, this shake diet program started selling and became giant, and it began in 1977.
I think I might know this.
Is it Weight Watchers?
It's not Weight Watchers, but it's
Jenny Craig.
Not Jenny Craig.
Is it? Brad,
Slim
think of. I was going to say Slim Fast.
It is Slim Fast. That is correct.
Slim Fast. Nice.
Yes.
And unfortunately, when I was a kid, I won't say who it was, but I used to tease somebody that they were Tommy Lasorda because they were bigger, and now I'm the one that's bigger. So I got to lose the weight. Brad, do you want to give it? There's like a million of them, but do you have any Squatch stories to tell the people out there about growing up with me?
Oh my lordy.
Why don't you can tell them about losing my baby blanket.
Oh man, the only fight Danny and I ever got in is when I lost the infamous Bluey. And I don't know how it happened, but Danny's whoopee, his blankie, his Bluey, somehow I did indeed misplace it. And I tried to replicate it, and I tried to if anyone
it was
saw
very nice of you.
Meet the Fockers where he like spray paints the cat and he tries to like pull off the replacement. I tried to pull over one of those, but it was unsuccessful. But he gave me an A for effort and ultimately forgave me for misplacing Bluey.
Yeah, I don't think we really got in a fight per se, but I will say this, and you guys will appreciate this. So Brad is a big sports fan too, but we went in 1998. We went and saw the Red Wings win the Stanley Cup. And Brad, you remember, I bought us 10 tickets for each game. We sold them. The trip was for free. We got free tickets and made money. And then we went and saw the Tibetan Freedom concert. And I got us backstage and got us free credentials. And that was a hell of a weekend.
Well, and then we sold our tickets because we had the press passes. So we sold the tickets and ended up getting paid. To go to the Stanley Cup Finals and Tibet Freedom Festival.
That is
sounds like that.
We've had some moments, though, but Brad is one of the greatest people anyone will ever know. 2 beautiful daughters, a beautiful wife named Vicky, and you're on the front lines, Brad. And you've got my heart.
Well, I love you, Danny. I love you more than anything. You're the real deal, and you tell it like it is. And what's incredible is you're always yourself. And through your ups and your downs, you speak the truth. You speak from your heart, and you don't hold back. And because of that, you inspire many. And I have no doubt, because of your honesty and your openness, that I have no doubt you've actually saved and improved many lives out there of people who are struggling. So thank you for putting your heart out there. Your heart is bigger than the world, and I love you for it.
Hey, takes one to know one, my friend. And Brad will listen. Brad would listen to my late night shows when we still were overnight on 97.1, and I would always know when he was listening. He would text me after or during, but I just could feel his presence. Hey, there's the other showers everywhere tonight.
I know. I'm getting in trouble because they're calling me to the dinner table right now. Let's talk later. Great to see everybody. Thanks for supporting Dan. I love you all. And Dan,
take care. Good to meet you.
Great to meet everybody.
Love you, Brad. The positive spots there.
The positive, there he is. I mean, come on. The greatest ever. See you later. Sign him
I love you.
Happy birthday.
I love you, Brad. All right, I had to get Brad in there, but I wanted to give you, Dave, and just continue to say what I was going to say, that, Lawton is the same way, and Towers, who I haven't noticed long, I feel the same way. Towers, you have a bond, but Dave has been there for me in many different ways. Obviously, he's been on every show. He's an incredible friend, an incredible son who has unfortunately, I'm not going to get into the personal stuff, Dave, but you've gone through stuff in your life, losing a parent at a younger age, but you've just been such a phenomenal human being to put up with your brother, Jeff, to put up with the Clown Prince, your brother, Eric, to be a great uncle to Ayla, your brother, Eric's kid, and Olive Sauce, your brother, Jeff's kid. But most importantly, just an incredible friend and human being. And I just hope you know how much I love you, and everyone that knows you loves you. You work hard, you make a difference, and I'm very grateful for you. And there'd be no one else that I would want aside from these people that have been on this birthday show, aside from a person like you.
Thank you, Dan, very much. Very kind words. I appreciate your friendship, and happy birthday to you. One last question for you, though, that I have to ask, and that is, this is from 1977. This progressive rock band tied a giant inflatable pig to a power station as a publicity stunt. The pig broke free and floated over Heathrow Airport, where all flights had to be grounded to avoid collisions with the pig. Who was the band?
What do I get for answering this correctly? Because you know I know the answer. What do I get?
Maybe an extra stroke at golf tomorrow. Or that
it's going
game
back.
right
There it is.
Yes,
Love it.
that band would be one of the greatest bands in the history of the world. I know Roger Waters is looked at as an anti-Semite. I get it. I separate that. Pink Floyd. Pigs have wings.
Very good.
No,
Very good.
Pigs. Dave, great job with the questions. Towers, I love the gaming headset. It's vintage Towers. Super douchey, but awesome.
Did you know, Dan, that you share a birthday with a bad boy Piston? You had to know that.
Wait, hold on. I don't. Hold on.
You do.
Not Mahorn. Mahorn? Hold on a second. It's not Mahorn. It's not Boot Edwards. It's not Bill Lambert. I know Brandon Inge has the same birthday as me. Pete Townsend from The Who. Give me a hint. Is it a well-known Piston?
Definitely. One of the key
Mitty
bad
Johnson?
boys. No.
Mitty Johnson? John Sally?
No, you actually said his name already. You were wrong.
Bill Lambert?
20
I didn't know
years.
that.
He's 20 years older than you to the day.
Wow.
I used to shoot threes like Lambert. Towers, thank you so much for being around. You know what? While we got a second, let's bring Mike back in. Mike's there. Ray's there. We got the whole crew.
Hey.
Love you guys. I just want to thank everybody, all the people in the chat, all the people that donated to Doug Roses. Look at, where did Ray get that from? Where's that from, Ray?
Actually, somebody, since a lot of you guys know that I'm also a cartoonist, Dave was there. James Honeycutt, who draws all these.
Yes, I love James.
Yeah,
he has a Swatch one for me.
He showed up to the auto show last year, and he goes, "I got this for you." It's kind of dead on.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
It's perfect.
But I also do these too. So if any of you guys need one,
I need one. And Mike's a genius when it comes to graphics as well. Listen, I want to thank each and every one of you. Lawton, you did yeoman's work. You got me an amazing. If people haven't seen the gift, he got me because I say believe in the dream, and we had a bet that I still haven't paid off, the Tebow bet. Did I give you some soups though? I gave you some soups at J. Alexander's. Remember? Give you like 5 soups.
Maybe. I don't know.
The Believe shirt, I love this. I'm gonna wear it tomorrow.
That shirt.
It's awesome, isn't it? It's awesome. But all you guys are awesome. Towers, thank you so much. Mike, Ray, I love how Chubb Leach kept calling you Lunchbox instead of Lunchbox. He's a gay Lunchbox.
Hey, Danny,
Dave,
real quick.
Yeah.
Big happy birthday and a shout out to the legendary Terry Foster. It would be remiss to say that he hosted a watch party for you tonight on Facebook that captured a lot of viewers, and you know what, he's a legend. I just want to make sure he got his correct due. So shout out to T Foss.
T Foss. Any other parting shots before we go? The birthday show has lasted almost 2 hours.
Happy birthday, Dan. Happy birthday, my man.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
I'm
I
actually
love you
10
all.
years older than
Happy
you.
birthday.
Ray, you look 10 years younger. By the way, Thursday, one of my mentors, maybe the mentor, and one of my heroes, Dan Miller, will be on the task force. Dapper Dan Miller, the voice of the Lions, Fox 2, so many other things. He let me intro with him twice, which was definitely a mistake.
Can't
on
wait
his
to
part,
talk to Dan
but he'll
about
be
the
on-
Lions.
You should get Lomas on with you.
Yeah, Lomas is coming on too. I love Lomas, but I, want
just
to
got
thank
DIP
all of you,
software
everyone in the
for them.
Yes. Everyone in the chat that stayed involved, all the people that donated money for the 50-50 raffle that helps the software costs. I love you all. It's the 30th anniversary of my bar mitzvah. It doesn't get any better than this. So thank you. Ray's got his mask. I've got the mask from Dave's aunt, the great sweet Lois. And until next time, this has been the Task Force for Long Lunch. Dave Rieger, Matt Towers, Mike Hinckley, Ray Templeman, Matt Derry, Dennis Fithian, Ken Cal, my dad, my sister, my nephew, my brother-in-law, everybody. I love you all. Be there for each other. Wash your hands. Spread love, not hate. And as one so beautifully knows, believe in the dream.
Believe.
Until next time, Task Force out.